go and see what's happened there. And the door even to the factory was very thick. And I said to him, no, I'm not going. And he said, "Whoa." Because I knew the next one would be very near.
Yeah.
And for sure, suddenly bang, and the splinters, came from this door.
Wow.
And I said to the guy, now I'm going. If I would listen to him,
Yeah.
that
You
would
would
be-
be,
You would have been dead.
oh yeah. So we spent actually all the rest of the war. That was about end of the September when Warsaw quit, and well, they took on the officers, to the, as a prisoner of war, and the rest they said you can go home. I was living about 30 kilometers from Warsaw. My parents was living, so I walked. We got the certificate that we are released from the army by Germans. So I know that I was going through the fields because the factory, sugar factory, and they have 70 meters chimney. So I seen that chimney, from 20 kilometers, and I said, I was walking, on that direction. I know when I was just steps from a place when my parents was living in a house. The rest, actually everything was occupied, I know it was getting dark, and some Germans was staying in the other houses, and in the evening, a couple of them when now they've seen me in uniform and jumped out back, to the house, and I was without any arms. But anyway, I went over there, and I didn't speak German, and of course the German was occupying the house too, and I was trying, to explain that I want to go and change, everything. So finally, they understood a little bit, and they went to get one guy who was working, for the sugar factory, and they brought him, and he speaks German, so he explained that I want to change it. So they let me go in there. That was completely nothing in there. Nothing. My parents left just before the Germans came, left to Eastern Poland.
But just a moment, I think Christina doesn't know
Yeah.
that George's father was director of sugar.
Oh yeah. I do know.
So some other people took.
Yeah.
For a while.
Some other people took me, and actually my house
Nanny. She has a nanny.
Yeah. Actually, she took some clothes, and there was a coat and something else, so she brought me back, and I changed it. And the rest clothes somebody gave me. A few days later, my parents came back, So the Germans let us go to our house, Then, what it was interesting to, maybe 3 months after the war ended, the official came, Polish official came, and I was talking, with my father and somebody else, and he knew me, and they brought me papers from the Germans that I have to report to that one town, in uniform. They are going to take me back to Germany. And I said to the guy, look, I'm too young. I wasn't in the army that my brother was. Oh yeah. So the guy would wink, and took the papers back. then the next day I went to Warsaw. My brother came, and somehow we survived. And during all these 5 years of occupation, I was adapted to the underground movement, which was getting intense in Warsaw, and there was a group of 5 men, and we've been just lecturing them how to fight, and so so that was my main thing. Till in 1944 there was Warsaw Uprising. No problem heard about this. There was horrible things. Apparently, we've been notified by the timing of the uprising, and there was at 4 o'clock on the 1st of August 1944, and I supposed to go with my unit from Warsaw 2 weeks, about 15th of September, out in to the woods, and I was going, to the railway station, because part of that unit when I was going first to make, preparation to accept us the unit. When uprising started at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I remember. So I had all these papers, for them, and I about four streets from a railway station when the uprising started. So I ran to the first house when I know the people, in the main street of Warsaw, and I had a friend there, but he wasn't home. The parents said he left. Probably we didn't know, who was in the underground, in case they caught one, so the other didn't know what his name. And so they let me stay. I remember about 10 o'clock in the evening, they started building barricades, on the main streets. So I went to report that I am in the underground too, and actually the unit was disorganized completely, because they had order to take over the hospital, German hospital. And the hospital was in a house made for the 2-story or 3-story house, was made to hospital, and there was bunkers outside with machine guns. So I took that unit, and I find out, what kind of arms they have. And I find out, that they have about 10 grenades and 3 pistols, and they're supposed to take machine guns. But anyway, I took it, over, and somehow there was quiet on that thing, on that part of the Warsaw. So I make a contact, with my unit, and I was directed to the one there was a postal building which was occupied by the unit I joined it. And I was staying with that unit for nearly 2 months of the uprising. We had lots of sharing, and I remember they make hall because Germans was on the other side of the street. There was large street. The Germans were there and we are here. So they make a hole in the walls of the building and was patrolling with this hole, through the hole. And I said, look, we can do something better. Take the mirrors and put the mirrors. You don't see through the hole, but through the mirrors you can see what is on the other side. And one time I'm coming and the guy said, Lieutenant, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for my life. They shot through that hole like this, you know, that mirror.
Oh.
When he's supposed to look.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yeah. So lots of something like that. I was going with them with the patrols. That one patrols, you know, I went, you know, and they told me to go and check some street there, you know, when the Germans, actually Ukrainians was there, you know, and there was some shouting and so, you know, so they told me, and I took about 10 men, and we went, you know, to one house, and the houses, you know, in Poland, they were very, the gate was very heavy, you know. And I came to the gate, and they are locked, you know, what to do. I couldn't go. And then I'm in the gate, and on the top there are Germans, you know. So suddenly I think, behind, so I just turned over, you know, and a hand grenade blow maybe 2 feet from me.
Oh my goodness.
And I was like, there was a very light hand grenade. So I got in the spine, you know.
In the spine?
Yeah, in 10 small pieces.
Oh.
I was bleeding heavy, but somehow, you know, they touched me there. And apparently when I was taken prisoner of war to the Germany after uprising, they operated on me. They took small pieces, you know. So I'm telling you, there was lots of very close calls.
Yeah.
And I lost, I think, about out of 32 of us finished high school. In that only uprising, I lost about 8 of them. 8 of them. Apparently, ball was lost, you know, during September. Practically everybody who was serving in you know, cavalry, that is horse units, you know. So for the stupid things was they make them charge on tanks. We are with the sabers, you know.
No. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah. Even Germans was stunned, you know, because what they told them, the tanks are from a cardboard.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no.
So apparently, the most of them they were all dead or wounded.